25 people were found to have committed the murder of one person in a spontaneous outburst of anger against provocation by police. It wasn't premeditated, there was no intention to kill, and yet you've just sentenced 14 people to death one Friday morning over a 15-minute period, and never ever called them by their names. Throughout a 3-year trial, you always refer to them as accused 1 or 2 or 5 or 12, and totally dehumanized these people, where there were police with dogs in the courtroom, a pretty ghastly system. What I was seeing in South Africa was that law was being used to deny justice and in fact to harm people, because it seemed to facilitate apartheid. There were laws that allowed people to be racist, allowed people to harm others. 2 days before I was due to leave, I extended it. We got the judgment. The appeal court had overturned 21 of the 25 murder convictions and commuted all 14 death sentences. Was just extraordinary. I was actually on my way back to Australia because I was living here at that stage, but I'd gone back for the appeal. I travelled up to Pretoria Central, the Pretoria prison where death row was. I wanted to be let in to convey the news to my clients that they would be free from death row. They were playing soccer at the time. The warder said to me, "Oh, they're going to be very unhappy if you call them off the soccer field because they're winning." And I said, I don't think they'll be that unhappy, because I've got some news for them that they'll never be playing soccer here ever again. There was this wonderful moment when I looked up, and Pretoria Central, this sort of huge, horrible building, actually quite fascist architecture. I looked up and I heard people shouting, "Andy, Andy," and I looked up and I saw these clenched fists pushed through these bars from these windows, and they were about to come down. Probably about 15 minutes later, these prison vans pulled up and my clients stepped out into the sun in their prison uniform, still clutching their little bits of possessions, and it was amazing. Waking up one morning to the news when I was already in Australia that the first case that had come before the new South African Constitutional Court was to abolish the death penalty in accordance with the new right to life provision in the new South African Bill of Rights. And I was just so thrilled to learn that cases like the Uppington case and others where the death penalty had been applied were evidence as to why this is an abhorrent provision in any state, in any democracy. I think if you're against the death penalty, you're against the death penalty, and you have to do everything in your power to make sure that whatever the circumstances, whether it's an alleged terrorist, whether it's an alleged drug trafficker, it has absolutely no possibility of being entertained at all. I actually wanted to be an actress, and my dad, I remember saying to him, I was toying with the idea of being an actress or a lawyer, and he always said, you'll always get a job as a second-rate lawyer.